Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Interlocking Loops Flosstube video. Welcome to all that have been here before and welcome to all the new viewers. It is Sunday, April 7th, 2019, and I know for me it's been a very long day, very busy day, and I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and share a little with you. I thought we'd talk about some FFOs. Yes, I have 2, not 1, not 0, but 2. All right, the first one is a Lizzie Kate. And as much as I would like to go without my glasses this evening, my eyes are tired. This is Collect Moments, Not Things, and 14 count Ada. Made a nice cute little pillow out of it. And I have a nice little spring Easter display. The other one, that Christiane Dahlbeck, those patterns, I finished this last time if you remember. It was one of her spring pattern books. That's a German designer, and I have a little pom-pom trim around, and I backed it with the same fabric that I did the other one. So I'm learning some new tricks about finishing, so great. All right, well, let's talk about finished stitched projects. If you remember, I've been working on the Brenda Gervais word plays this year, and that's with Thy Needle and Thread. And this one is the March, and I changed up the colors a little bit. This is on 18 count ivory Ada cloth. The original pattern looks like this. Hers are a little more subdued colors, and I wanted things to pop a little bit, so I changed them out as I thought that would make it just a little bit more personal for me. So, as far as other things I've been working on, if you remember the Little House Needleworks Fresh Cherries pattern, I'm still working on the cherry section. Haven't gotten a long way since we talked last. I worked more in that wordplay instead. So hopefully this week will bring some time for me to get that finished, or at least a lot of progress. That fabric is by Picture This Plus 18 count Jade Ada. So I'm trying to keep myself a little bit more organized here. So I've got piles here, there, and everywhere. My next to go on the hoop, I'm a little bit late to get started, but it would be the word play for the month of April. And I've seen this finished several different ways, and it's cute all of the ways I've seen done. So this will be an 18 count Ada cloth as well, ivory. Let me slide it out of the package so you can kind of see what that looks like. And it's got a cute little bunny. Because it's night, this evening and dark outside, we're having a little more change in how we're doing the lighting, so hopefully this works out for us. You may be able to hear the frogs and toads outside too. That's another thing that's been going crazy now that spring seems to have sprung. Let's talk a minute about acquisitions. I purchased from Magnolia Baby Creates some needle minders. One has to do with bees, the other has some gorgeous orange carrots on it. That just kind of spoke to me, and I needed a couple more. And then Tricia from 3 Hour Threads has sent the Jack Frost, the next installment of the pattern series. And because of the glare, I'll try and slide it out of the plastic. There you go. Like that vehicle with the tree on it. Oh, won't that be great? Stella, that's our dog. Maybe she wants to be in the podcast too. Let's talk about a few other acquisitions I've made. I did purchase a couple more needle minders from down Sunshine Lane. One of them is a Grinch. I just love the Grinch. I'm not Grinchy when it comes to Christmas, but I think he's adorable. And there's another one from Hands-On Design. It's a little fall pickup truck. I don't know if you can even see that at all. The glare is quite a bit. But it's adorable. And Down Sunshine Lane has so many different needle minders. I bought some before that have little girls with red hair. There's been a mermaid. I like those. My daughter's a redhead, so I like to think that she looks a little bit like those. So, as far as patterns, I did purchase, and I know most of you have seen these, a couple of these new market releases, and one of them is not a new market release. It's the Spring Salt Boxes is one of the new ones that I know has been everywhere. I really like houses and barns, and I just love this blue little house. So at some point I hope to get that started. Which these new acquisitions are making it challenging for me to decide what it is I want to do for StitchMaynia. I thought I kind of had my mind made up, and I've muddied the waters and made it difficult once again. So another one that I purchased is Wool and Flax Co. I have the sheep. I can identify with that kind of thing. I have to admit, I don't look near that pretty in a pretty pink dress, as in the pattern, tending to my sheep. But, and of course, it's kind of it's supposed to go all along with the pattern that was released, I believe, last year, the Milk and Cream Co., and I purchased it as well. I think there needs to be one with dairy goats, like the Feta and Milk Co. or something like that. So that's just my 2 cents in. Oh, let's see. And then I purchased from 123 Stitch a couple of things. Heart and Hand. And I hope to start these probably with the month of April, but it hasn't been released yet. So it'll be another monthly series. And I can give you a sneak peek of what the April looks like. See those gorgeous little carrots? That's not included in this pattern, but it's in the upcoming one for April, May, June. And it was because of those carrots why I wanted to buy this. I thought those were adorable. They'd be cute little things to display. And I already have an idea about how I would like to display those. So, I also purchased the Hands-On Design Carrots and Cottontails. This little pillow would be gorgeous. And I already have some of the orange gingham I think would look nice with that. I did buy Ada cloth for that to go on. The last thing I purchased, I love sunflowers. It's a complete kit with the floss included. It's DMC. Oh, I just love that. It was on sale, so, you know, gotta love a sale. So those were my acquisitions. Let's talk a little bit about other crafts. We'll just spend our 60 seconds on talk about knitting. The main thing I've been working on other craft-wise has been more sock knitting. And I don't know how far I had these worked on last time. I knit from the cuff down. And I do a heel flap, a heel turn, gusset decreases. These are on 1.5 millimeter DPNs. And it's online super sock yarn. This is fingering weight. I have the second one started. And just today, while we were driving, I was able to get the heel flap and the heel turn done. And there is something magical. If you hear people talk about the magic of a heel turn, the magic of a heel turn. You bet there really is something to that. So it's amazing the architecture of a sock can actually make something that fits your foot. So that's what I've been working on as far as other crafts for the most part. I've been doing quite a bit of reading on my Kindle, and that's been kind of keeping me busy. I did want to talk a little bit about other things that have been going on, including the last few weeks we've had lambs born. I think I've mentioned that we do live on a farm. We do have sheep, and we've had 4 ewes, a lamb. We had a set of triplets, lost one of those, and then the rest were twins, so I have 8 lambs. And I kind of have a little bit of a competition on whether the girls or boys are ahead. And this year's 50-50. Girls and boys are even. So that's kind of cute. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen a picture of a couple of them that I had posted just today. And I'm interlocking loops on Instagram if you care to follow me over there and see a little bit about my crafting adventures and farm fun, those kind of things. So what else? Let's see. We've been starting to do planning not only for Easter coming up, but my son's graduation from college. He actually finished courses, but we're going through the actual graduation ceremony, and looking forward to that. We'll have relatives from out of state coming in, and excited about that. So we've got the countdown of days. His graduation is actually May 12th on Mother's Day, so I know it's kind of a big milestone for him. I feel like it's kind of a big milestone for me a little bit. So that's exciting. As a matter of fact, I mentioned earlier that we were quite busy today. We met another gentleman that raises sheep most of my flock is from the same individual, and we met him today. He happened to be coming this way, dropping off a few other sheep to some other producers, and we met him about an hour from here. Otherwise, he lives like 5-hour drive from here. And we were able to pick up 6 more. Their yearlings are older, as well as we're borrowing a ram for the next year. So I'm excited about that. So we should have babies hopefully in the fall, and you can hear a little bit more about those as time goes on. The last thing I wanted to talk about today was I have been trying to plan for StitchMaynia. I did that last year. I think a new project every 4 or 5 days. And of course, I do mainly smalls. I was able to get most of those projects finished during that month's time. I don't anticipate with his graduation and some of those kind of things coming up that I will actually be able to get a lot of them finished, but at least I can get several things started. And I have some tentative plans. I'm not sure where my new acquisitions will fall into the mix when it comes to that. So some of them will shift around, but what I'm thinking about projects to actually start during that time, and I'm thinking I may do one every 3 days, so maybe there'll be a total of 10 different projects I'll start. Things I've been wanting to stitch anyway, so it'll be a good time as any to kind of work on that project. So alas, I have to grab another pile. So I have one, and I've been trying to kit them up a little bit. I don't have the fabric in with it, but I've tried to get the flosses. And this one, the theme is watermelon by Little House Needleworks. It's called All Dolled Up, fresh from the vine. That to me says summer. And before we know it, the last 30 days I would say has gone by so fast. I anticipate the next few months before we know it, it'll be watermelon season. So I think that'll be a nice one to start to get going. The next one I was thinking of, at least tentatively, is Summer Solstice by the Primitive Hare. And this is another free pattern from her website, theprimitivehare.com, and that's H-A-R-E. So I like bees. That was kind of, as you can tell, I was kind of kitting things up when I kind of was thinking about the bees. And I do have that new needle minder that'll go good with this project. Another thing I wanted to try is I bought the Prairie Schooler Barnyard Christmas last year, and I haven't started a one of them. But I really, some of these I just think are adorable. Oh my goodness. So all of these are included in the pattern. So I like the pig, the chicken, the sheep, the cow. I like the cat too, except I may change what the cat looks like. I don't have any cats that look quite like that, so I'd be interested in changing that. And we don't actually have any chickens anymore, but we used to have many. So that's kind of exciting. So I want to start some of those, and those aren't very big. So it may be that I'm able to start maybe perhaps more than one. And it looks, I've made notes to myself about as far as what's not kitted up yet with the project, and I'm planning on using 16 count Ada. I have a note, a post-it note with that very thing. Another one of the things I wanted to stitch up is also with my Stitch 9, the Riveris Farm. I have the flosses together. I have a light oatmeal 16 count Ada to go with it, which looks very much like the example. I think that would be adorable. So that's another one I'm looking at starting. Those are my almost 100% for sure pile. The last one in that almost 100% for sure pile is, it's a hands-on design. Sunshine on a Stem. I bought this last year. It comes with the felt for the leaves. And I'd like to start that too. So I thought I'd actually get a chance to start this last year, and lo and behold, summer came and went. I didn't get a chance. But I love sunflowers, and I love black-eyed Susans, and to me, this is what I think a black-eyed Susan really looks like. So if you're quite an aficionado of flowers, you may like this very pattern too. So as far as anything else I wanted to do, gosh, as I look through some of these acquisitions, I'm not sure by then that I'm going to really want to, I don't know, I'll probably have to throw some 4th of July things in there. But this spring salt boxes that I just purchased, oh, I may have to figure out what I need as far as some fancy floss for those. Let's see about starting one of those. Hard to say. You have to stay tuned to see just what I end up doing. Hopefully I'll have a better idea. That's, I think, 5 projects. I need another 4 or 5 to complete about 10 of the ones I'd like to start. So I'm going to spend the rest of April working on the fresh farm cherries and that Brenda Gervais, the April, I haven't started yet, but that will be started this week. So hopefully I can get those finished before I need to start the ones for May, but if not, we'll just roll with the punches, so to speak. The last thing I wanted to talk about had to do with a little bit about some interesting stuff my husband and I did last night. I am part of a group of people. I had some special training to do a frog and toad survey. That's kind of a volunteer thing. My husband and I are both trained as biology majors in undergrad, and we went out. We were given a route in our area after training, and we were sent to listen and be able to kind of identify the frogs and toads that are active now. We do the same thing 3 different times over the course of the summer to kind of help establish what you can hear when, what of those animals are more popular, more vocal, and they can track with our information. It's all put into a database as far as if, for example, they know the spring peepers, they have changed their migration. They're migrating in more parts of Iowa. They're found and heard more there than they used to be. There's also some that have been very rarely heard, and they're kind of hoping someone can hear those and hope to verify eventually by sight that maybe some of those more rare species are becoming more abundant. And it's we had fun. It's taken place after dark, where you can hear them the best. We took a big bag of pretzels and drinks, and we set off and did that. And I have to say, I'm an early to bed, early to rise kind of person, and I was pretty tired by the time we were done. But we got it done, and actually we had a fun time doing it. And I think we'll do this. I think the next time period is basically the month of May, and then there's one like June 7th to July 7th is the last window. And as we go along, I'll be entering all this in the computer, and it goes into the database. And I thought that was kind of a neat thing. So as far as that goes, that's all for this episode. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop me a message down below. If you would like to follow along, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be alerted to each and every episode that drops, hit that bell and it'll let you know. Until then, happy crafting. Bye.